Well, Carl Jung speculated that we all are part of the human unconscious. We're all like plugged into the same uh, apparatus, basically. And so when we
Matrix?
dream, what's
Matrix.
that?
Matrix?
No, something like that, like a matrix of the mind or whatever.
A
That's the
spiritual
reason.
matrix of the mind.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, but he believed there's like a collective unconsciousness that mankind shares, and that's why we have like some of the same dreams, and we that's why people can learn things in their dream, and then they happen in real life and things like that.
How does that relate in your mind to biblical teaching? Because that they don't tell you that in the Bible.
Well, they talk about that we're all made in the image of God, and God is all knowing, omniscient, omnipotent, and all this other stuff. So maybe that part of ourselves that's most like God takes a walk while we're dreaming,
That's cool. It's a cool
uh, and
idea.
uh, and that maybe we can know things that we shouldn't be able to know. I mean, um, I actually get accused of being psychic all the time.
Really?
Yeah, by people that know me. Like back when before COVID hit, I kept telling people I was like, "There's something coming. I think it might be a big snow, it might be something, but we're about to be off of work for a while." And
Really?
I told people about that months in advance because I kept feeling like I'm about to get a lot of time off, you know. And so I was like
Wow.
telling myself, "Well, what am I going to do when I have all this time off?" And I was so sure of it, and people were like, "It's not going to snow, man. It's not snowed, you know, it's not snowed in years and stuff like that." And I was like heading into March, and I was like, "Something's going to happen, man." And the next thing you know, boom, you're set down. I was like, "Oh, I was wrong. It wasn't man. It was man made. It wasn't, you know." But I had the feeling about it, you know. I've had
Wow.
this happen to me multiple times over the years.
Sometimes
Um,
people are in tune with other things, right? Like
uh,
your brain picks up on tons of subliminals that you see every day. And by the
yeah,
way, what you described, I'm the opposite. I don't have that at all. If I try to
right.
predict it, I'm always wrong. Yeah, I don't have that intuition at all.
Well, if I go into it like trying to predict something, I can't I can't do it. It's just a passive thing for me. Uh, it's like I was telling somebody last night. I have a it's not a photographic memory, but my memory is passively collects information. Uh, and and like everything around me like winds up being stuck in my brain somewhere, you know. And and I get accused of that all the time, you know. It's like, well, how did you know that, or how did you know that? You know.
Right.
uh, and then it's not really an active collection of information. It's a passive thing.
That's
Tell me
Um,
my
cool.
future.
More pot smoking and more comic books with foxes in it. There you go.
That's it?
Yeah, I don't
It's
really like that.
uncanny, isn't it, Belmont? It's uncanny.
Yeah.
Word of knowledge. Yeah, that's a spiritual gift in the Bible. It talks about a word of knowledge. Some people have they can see the truth in all things, and
Yes.
they have a perception. Some people think it's extra per century perception. Um, but that's a gift, spiritual gift.
I'd be
You
In
better
the
not
curious.
Bible.
you better not be the next Miss Cleo, Bunny.
I'm not. I'm not. Trust me. I don't have the braids and you know to pull that off. Or the Jamaican accent, man. I don't have that either. Or the skin color.
I would be really curious to find out if any of your ancestors had it, like your grandpa, your grandma, stuff like
uh,
that. You know?
my father had it.
Oh,
Um,
You
he
got the
predicted
shine.
his
got to shine.
yeah. Well, he
That's
predicted his own death.
wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Who?
he and I found out later. He and my mother and him passed away together, and I found out later that they'd gone around to all their friends, telling them that they that they were going to die together, and they prepared, or they found somebody to take us in. They took out extra insurance and said goodbye to everybody before,
No
and then
way.
they got killed in a car accident. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. Yep. But that was they did. I mean, they prepared for it. And I mean, people have a hard time believing that, but they knew it was going to happen. I remember the year before, my aunt and uncle wound up taking us after they passed. Um, actually came and stayed with us for a week as a prep.
Oh, I see.
They went on vacation and left us with the aunt and uncle that eventually we stayed with. And they never told me that's what that was, but I think they were like trying them out for a week. But this was a year before the accident happened, so
Really?
yeah.
That's insane, man. I mean, there's a thing where I actually don't think it's healthy to know the future because you would start to stress over it. And so,
Right.
so very few people have that ability, to have that tuition.
Yeah, well, I do have a little bit of guilt because I was in the same accident. My whole family was in the same accident, and which I lived through and saw everything. I'm the only one that knows what happened that day.
Oh, wow.
But the reason why is because I switched seats with my sister. I was the smallest in the family. My sister even bullied me, and I got this window seat for the first time ever. And if you were like the odd man out, you got into we were in the station wagon, and this is back before seatbelts and everything, that mandatory seatbelts. Our family might have caused that in North Carolina. I don't know, but if you were the odd man out, you got shoved back in the cargo area of the station wagon, right? And I always wound up in the cargo area. And that day I got the window seat, and I switched with my sister, and she's now mentally handicapped because of it. So,
Oh, man.
yeah,
Oh.
it's a little bit of guilt I carry around, but maybe
Wow.
it was my perception. But I
mean,
switched with her.
Guilt is that's kind of heavy on yourself because who knows that's going to happen.
Well, evidently I did, but that's pretty harsh.
It's a superhero origin story.
But yeah, well, but yeah, I just knew I knew ahead of time. So whatever that is, I don't know. But like I said, it's not something I can control. It's not something I can. But I've made decisions in my life that were inexplicable that turned out to be, the right choice or at the right time or whatever. But
Well, give me some of that. Bottle it,
Yeah.
man. Do whatever.
well, trust me, you don't want anything. You want this. You really don't want this anyway.
You don't want what I got.
Yeah.
Something happened similar to my brother.
Mhm.
This kid kept on asking him, "Come on, go to drive with me. Go to drive with me." He wanted to go to like 3 towns over. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It was like maybe
Mhm.
45 an hour drive, and my brother kept on saying no, he didn't want to go, and he ended up getting in a car accident, and that
Oh.
passenger side was fucking destroyed. So if
Wow.
he did go in that drive,
Wow.
he probably would have never made it back. And it was so strange because he kept bothering him, like, to get for him to go. Like, come on with me. I want you to go. And the car just got totaled. And if anybody was in that passenger side, he would have been gone or crippled at least. You know what I mean? It would have been a bad situation.
That's crazy.
Well, I had a car accident a few years ago, and I was so sure. I mean, every time I walked out and saw this car, I was like, I just knew that that something was going to happen. And so the day I came over a rise and there was a car in my lane, I was like, oh, today's the day. And I was so calm after the accident that they were like worried for me. They thought I had that I was like
traumatized.
And I was like, no, this is the third time in my life this has happened to me. They're like, why in the world?
Wow.
That's what the car looked like.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Hit me on the passenger side, but I turned in time to make it a glancing blow because it was going to be straight on.
Oh, really?
The guy fell asleep coming over the rise.
Really?
Yeah. So when I mentioned my PTSD, it's from all this stuff. But anyway,
I'm sure.
But yeah, I came over the rise and I was like, oh, today's the day. I remember saying that to myself. Oh, okay. But yeah, every time I saw that car, I love that car, man. It's my first Subaru, you know. I became a Subi man because of that car. But every time I came over the rise and saw that, or every time I saw that car, I'd go out to the car. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to have this car long.
Right.
And yeah, I came over the rise and there it was. And I was like, oh, okay, today's the day, you know.
Man, well, at least you lived.
Yeah.
Seriously,
and maybe I lived because I was so calm. I don't know.
Right. That makes a big difference, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the whole telepathic bunny thing is kind of it's not really because of that, but you know, it kind of is apropos, I guess.
In a way. It is, right.